guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Barbell Brigade Talk Show. We're with Silent Mike, Miranda, who has over 400 million. I mean, not 400. Over 4 million followers. You must have some secrets to growing your platform. Like, what are some of the things that you feel like you've done that has been super conducive to your success?
Ooh, so that's probably one of the most commonly asked questions I get.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From who? Like fans, from other influencers, from
yeah. Honestly, I would say other influencers. I would say 'cause it's like, it's assumed that there's like some secret sauce that I have the key.
Yeah. Secret sauce.
Yeah, we need some.
I have like the cookbook.
We need some tapatio over here. Sure.
I need some sauce.
But I'd say my response is gonna be just it would be hard for me to be fake, so I'm just gonna just say it.
Yeah.
I 100% know that my looks play a part into that. I am not I'd say oblivious to reality.
So I should have blonde hair.
Yeah, are you saying me and Bart are ugly and that's why we're not succeeding right now?
We just need to grow out our hair and dye it blonde. That's what she's saying.
I would say go buy a new face. That's all I'm saying.
Wow.
That's fucked up.
That's gonna be expensive.
Yeah.
Any plastic surgeons want to do a brand deal with me?
Oh.
I'll buy a new face
Ooh.
for him.
So yeah, I would say been aware of that, but then also I would say as I've gotten older, it's been a little bit more of a priority to take care of myself.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of money as well, and so
But on the same token, there's also like very attractive pages that don't have that many followers, because I think if you have the looks, guy or girl, that's like the initial hook.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if there's
The
no
door
substance,
opens.
yes. Okay. So I was gonna get there.
Yeah, you can't maintain
So I
it.
would say it's. I'm trying to say because again, like if I don't say that, it's, she only got there because of her looks. So like I would say this is kind of like my what's that thing where you're.
Get your foot in the door. Or...
No, it's like one of those.
Precursor. Yeah.
Huh?
Precursor.
No, it's a thing.
When they talk real fast
English.
at the end of the medication.
No, it's like
things.
it's the sentence where like you're summing up everything you just said.
Conclusion? Summary?
TLDR.
No, it's a different word.
Summing up everything.
Like basically, it's like an introduction paragraph, and then like the last sentence is like you kind of regurgitate all the words you said.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Summarize.
Thank
Thesis?
you.
The thesis?
Yep,
Yeah,
that was
okay.
my thesis
I see.
statement.
Okay.
Okay. I just covered all of our asses right now.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I cared enough about you
To get an A on
To call us ugly.
this paper. Yeah.
and to get a new face. I'm just kidding. I'm really not. I would say promoting to get a new face. So please don't take that seriously. So I would say the looks played a part. I would say the one thing about me is I've always been me. I've always been me in a way where, back in college, I was going to the gym at 3:00 in the morning. It did not matter how late it was. It did not matter how busy the day was. It doesn't matter what obstacle got in my way. Like I was still at the gym. It did
Why
not matter.
3 a.m.? Like what? Why did
Okay, so I was gonna explain. So
Because the Ciroc
look,
bar closed.
the bar closed at 2.
Yeah, the bottle's gone.
so I'd say I was, I'd say on average, I was balancing like 16 credits in college, pretty normal, whatever. But then also like working, and then also on the dance team. So like I had a lot of like I would say
Pack schedule.
responsibilities as a young adult trying to figure it the fuck out. And so I had to plan my schedule around what was already scheduled. So then I had to think, okay, if I have a basketball game and that gets done at 11 p.m., I got to eat. I've got to like get myself, I'd say motivated. Maybe watch some like YouTube like motivation things. And at the time too, like so Lucas and I have been doing this together for 8 years. He's kind of been like the only person that has been like consistent with me doing this like this. And he was actually the only person back like 2016. He was the only person that actually encouraged me to do the fitness page. And I would say my Instagram was actually created in my college like apartment room. I was just really getting sick and tired of I'd say everyone else always being in charge of like my path. I was getting sick of like trying to always do the right thing in my mind. I'm not saying I always did the right thing.
Yeah,
But I'd say like as a young adult, I tried to do that.
You see, like, everyone else does this. This is what you're supposed to do, I guess.
Yeah, and I would say too, like I didn't grow up with a lot of money. I lived between 8 and 9 Mile in Detroit, and so it was just kind of like I was always
You
surrounded
got
with
some bars, like,
Yeah.
want to spit a little bit, like,
Run, rabbit, run.
yeah.
no. So I would say I just was always constantly surrounded with people that had better like living scenarios than me, and it kind of made me mad. It made me mad that I was just like, but I deserve that too, and like
I want to buy some silver heavy shoes.
I know.
I knew that was like gonna be a thing like at one point in here because like I already did it to myself, and I'd say like you did it really great. It was a good troll, so thank you.
Thank you.
This is now feedback. Like I'd say the ego hears criticism, And confidence here's feedback. So look at that. I just made this actually a very serious thing. So thank you for joining me.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Hashtag dry humor.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyways, back to my point. I did not make an excuse to go to the gym. It was the gym no matter what. And also, like I'd say, if you actually go back on my YouTube channel, scroll all the way down, and you will actually see that. I'm in the gym. I have like full face of makeup on from dance, like fake eyelashes and like red lipstick, and I look like I just was at a basketball game because I was.
Yeah.
And I think in some of the videos I have like Western Michigan dance team t-shirt on because I didn't really have any other clothes.
Yeah. And you just went straight to the gym.
And like Luke's and I, it didn't matter. Like he played football as well, so it was kind of like.
He was training with you at 3 a.m. too.
Oh yeah. I didn't go by myself. Yeah. He was there with me every single gym session, every single time.
That's gangster.
And so like him and I, it was just kind of like we were just so different back then because like everybody else thought we were insane, and like yes, like I'd say and still insane, but I'd say just it was just interesting because it's like I still have I'd say that fire that I had at 19, 20. I still have it, and I would say that's why it's been important for me. Like I can't let that burn because that's why I'm here today is because I had that fire.
So you think like that discipline and that kind of habit that you've created back in college was helped with your success now to keep going forward?
Oh, like, absolutely.
A lot of people think like, oh, you just need to make one viral video.
No.
It's a constant, like you get beat down by comments or whatever, and you just keep going forward. And if you don't have the tenacity that I feel like you have to have built somewhere else, social media will like wither you out real fast.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, it's like, back to like what has actually really helped me grow. I think my intelligence has also helped me get places that other people have not seen yet. And I mean that in a way where it's like, everything I'm posting, there's like intent behind it. It's not random. Sometimes it actually is random, but I'd say the intent there is like, there's meaning behind it.
And that one is meant to be random.
Yeah. And also too, I'd say the biggest compliment that I've received lately, I've tried to really practice, I would say, like engaging an audience with my captions. So I'd say like the last, like I would say 2 years, I've really tried to really tell a story in a way where like I'm trying to like make you feel instead of it just being like a bunch of words of like be successful and like this and that. 'Cause it's like I think a lot of social media is like just regurgitated bullshit.
Yeah.
And so to me,
you don't think it is?
Yeah, I know.
It is.
I know. I see it actually. Yeah.
There's a shit lot
I see it way more now. I'm like, oh fuck, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like that. Like that's awful. But yeah, I would just say like that. I just try to really be myself, I would say, and I'm also very open to I would say things I'm not good at, and I would say open up in a way where I talk about like my insecurities, or I admit that like I'm wrong. Like I'd say one of my captions is I would say ultimately I was here for the Gymshark event, which I was like very I'd say like just grateful to be invited to that, and I wrote a caption about it, and I would say I mentioned that my ego played a part in my journey, and I mean that in a way where I started this and it was just like I wanted to be rich. I wanted to be rich, and I was always really mad at the world because I'm like, why the fuck is this person over here getting this opportunity? I work harder, I'm this and I'm better and I'm this, and I spent so much time like fantasizing about like why I'm not getting this over here. I spent so much time
little comparison games
like on the shit as if like that had anything to do with me at all. But again, when you're young and you like haven't learned like the lesson yet, you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know better.
Yeah.
And so, I went to a seminar and Tim Grover spoke on this, and like I actually started crying
at the seminar.
I embarrassed myself. But I'd say what he said to me.
Tim Grover is Michael Jordan's coach, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I was at this seminar and I was like in the second row, and he like made a statement. And it was just kind of like, you focus so much on your haters rather than the people that actually support you. And when he said that, he's like, how many of you when you started, you cared way more about negativity, than you did positivity? How many of you actually pushed away friends that did have your back, and now you're not friends with those people anymore because you didn't keep the friendship. Yeah. You were too busy focusing on, the losers and the haters and the negativity. And to be honest with you, it was just like I never heard it like that before. I started crying. Wow. I'm like, holy fuck, I wasted so much time. Like again, and that's ego. I'd say when ego is properly placed, and like he spoke on that as well, when the ego is properly placed, that's when the greatness, I would say, starts to compound. So I'd say I'm aware, I'd say like of my my best traits, I would say, but I'm also aware of like my worst ones, and I'm not afraid, I would say, to talk about it. I'm not afraid to speak on them. And I think that that's a quality that not many people have in the world.
Yeah, because it even shows the fact that you're at the seminar. Because it takes a self audit to go, I'm missing something I need to learn, versus I think a lot of people go, I know everything already.
Yeah, I'm the teacher only.
Yeah. So like, how did you even know like, oh, I need to go to a seminar to like up my game in this area of my life?
Well, it's interesting because so Tim Grover's book Relentless. If you guys have not read that book and you want to be successful, read that book. Like, read that book. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm saying like,
is that his first book or second book or?
That's the first book.
One main book, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Maybe
Yeah.
Two.
He has two. Yeah, The Winning and then Relentless.
Oh, I'm listening to Winning right now. Yeah.
Phenomenal. I think honestly I think everybody should read. But again, it's like I'd say depending on like where you want to go in life, that's gonna be like I'd say the intent behind you reading it. If you're just kind of like chilling. Like you're just fine in life, the book is not going to have as much meaning.
Yeah.
But when you're like, I would say hungry for success, it's like you read that and it's like his words should yell at you.
He's yelling at you the whole audiobook.
Yeah.
Is it his voice?
It's his voice, and he's fucking intense. So like, if you want a chill read, it's not a chill read.
No, it's not. I would say it's not something to read before bed.
Yeah, it's like 8 hours.
Okay. Okay. So based on this, I'm gonna say his book Relentless talks about there's 3 words. Okay, there's 3 words. There's cleaner. There's closer, and then there's cooler.
Cooler?
Yeah, those are 3 words that he really, like I would say, focuses the book on.
Okay.
And those 3 words are very important because they apply to every aspect of life. And I would say, I read this book at 19. Lucas actually gave me the book. He actually underlined things that I should read.
So you read this book and went to the seminar before you started your social media thing?
No. So like I read his book probably like 20 times, to be honest, like front and back.
That's fucking sick.
Throughout my journey, I would say. But I'd say
you get more from it with your life experiences.
I'd say again that it's the comprehension. You can read something over and over again, and it's like you only read as much as you're willing to, actually like feel the information. So I'd say no. The seminar I went to was actually a couple months ago. I did not go to any other seminar like I'd say before then. This is actually like my first one. But yeah, I'd say like those 3 words. You have cooler. Okay, coolers are, I'd say, driven by ego. Okay, so I'd say those people probably make a lot of money. They probably look from the outside in like they have a great life. Maybe they have the house and like they've got the family ? I don't know, or maybe not. They've got if they're a male, they've got all the girls, and if they're a female, they've got all the materialistic things that they look like they have just like this attractive lifestyle, right? They have it all, right?
Yeah.
And they're probably like really not in touch with reality at all.
I see.
I'd say that's this is my perception of it. Then you have closer. I'd say closers are the best team players. I would say I think that closers are aware enough, like, hey, I can't be main character, but I'm only gonna be able to help the main character be better because like my role is that much more important. Wow. So I'd say it's kind of like understanding, like, okay, I can't lead like that. And I'm not, and that's also not saying too that you can't like move up, in life. That's not saying that you stay there.
You can still switch.
It's more so just like understanding like where you're actually like mentally and emotionally at with your own conscious, like I'd say, efforts.
Yeah.
It's understanding like this is my role right now, and I've got to be at this role, and I've got to do it like 110% because without my role, I'm not shit. And I'd say that's kind of I would say an interesting dynamic because I'd say, I know Lucas is actually a lot of cleaner and I'd say like a lot of his life. However, I'd say with him doing this with me.
What's cleaner?
So a cleaner. Cleaners are, I would say, probably more of the independent, probably more like aggressive in like the goal, and like no matter what comes into their way, it's that goal. And also I would say they take care of things like behind closed doors. Every problem that comes in, they're not, I'd say, like crying over it. They're not making their problem everybody else's problem.
Oh, I see.
And it takes a certain skill to be able to do that. But I'd say like our work dynamic is like, it's taken, I would say, a lot of lack of ego for, I'd say, Lucas and I to do this together because again, as a male and like, I'd say like him working with me, he's had to take a back seat a lot because he's understood, okay, she's the goal right now. And, she has these qualities where, this is going to only help us right now. So he understands and actually like respects the fact that
he's the closer.
In this scenario,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Because again, I would say like if you're actually a real cleaner, you're not a cleaner in every aspect of life.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like Michael Jordan, you know, a cleaner in the game. Was he a cleaner at home though? Probably not.
I see.
So it's like again, and when you're a cleaner, you have to be aware that, you know, you're not who you are without your other people.
Yeah.
Not shit.
Yeah, different roles on different
So
teams.
it's like again, it's understanding and also taking the ego out and understanding, okay, what's selling right now? And then how do we conquer that? And that's kind of been like our concept of how we've built my social media platform. So back to the thing, I think looks, intelligence. I think actually therapy has really helped me. I've been in therapy since 14. You know, I make mistakes all the time. I mean, like, I'll be sometimes in scenarios and I'm like, you know, I've got this figured out. I know what the fuck I'm doing. No, the fuck I don't. I still fuck up and you know, sometimes I react out of emotion. I'm human, you know, so it's like sometimes it's so hard to kind of like figure out in life, okay, so is this a time where I can like be myself? Or do I have to like put on a mask now because, you know, now I'm going to be seen as this way? Or like, it's like sometimes life becomes so complicated, but we make it that way. You know, it's like life is actually not that hard, but I'd say our thought process of anxiety, and then I would say like putting off the pressure, which is stress, that like I would say enables us from seeing things like from a clear perspective, I would say. And so that's just like an interesting concept because I would say that's very like intellectual. Where like a lot of people don't like think about it like that on like a deeper level.
Yeah.
And actually that's my problem is I struggle to actually find people that I can, you know, say blend in with because it's like
You're thinking.
I say all these thoughts and it's like I say if I'm talking to people my age, like what?
Yeah. No, this is fucking
What?
sick.
You
I
know?
think you gave one of the most deepest answers that we've heard on the
'Cause
show.
most people are throwing out, well, you're not using the right hashtag.
Yeah.
Oh fuck that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
fuck
But
that
like for
shit.
you, it's like core, like true core traits that you actively had to work after.
Yes.
You know, like going to seminars, learning, and going like, so I want to be real, and it's not something that I can just game my algorithm or game whatever.
Yeah.
And it's the success that is reflected on my social media page is actually a reflection of the success in myself.
Yeah,
That's
the work
correct.
on the back end.
That's right. So
So that's
if I had to
dope.
list and like if this is like, you know, part of the clip, I would say my looks, intelligence, therapy, and like just mental health. I would also say sacrifice. I have been willing to sacrifice my entire life. I have sacrificed relationships, friendships. I cannot tell you. Actually, it's interesting. I actually have an album on my phone. So when I'm like a great public speaker, because that's gonna happen. I actually have an album of all the times my bank account went into the negatives, and I'm gonna actually show that.
Oh.
Yeah, because a lot of again, and I've actually never said this publicly before, so this is actually the first time I
Yeah.
said that like that. And it's going to be really interesting because again the perception is, you know, you start here and then like
And it just
you know you make money and like you're fine, but as you know what people don't tell you is though is shit happens all the fucking time,
all the fucking time.
all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And to grow you have to, you know, be able to invest a lot of fucking money. I mean, even to stay here for a week in LA, you know, we're talking trips, we're talking Airbnb, food, coffees, two drinks, you know.
Matcha ain't cheap no more.
No, it's not.
Cookie dough ice cream price is going up too.
I know.
Inflation's a bitch.
I know, but again, it's just like, again, everyone sees, you know, the lifestyle from their perspective and their perception of what they think it is.
Yeah, tidbits on the internet.
And then there's like reality where it's like I've spent a lot of my journey crying myself to sleep because I have no idea how the fuck I'm going to figure it out. I have no idea how I'm going to pay my bill because now the bill is due in 2 days and my bank account right now is like negative $1,800. And I'm like, fuck, what am I going to have to do right now? You know, like how am I going to finesse this right now? So I would say I in my own way, I become a professional finesser.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'd say, okay, back to, so I said looks, intelligence, I said therapy. Did I say it fourth?
Professional finesser.
Sacrifice. Okay, sacrifice. Okay, I did sacrifice. Okay, sacrifice, and then okay, the fifth one I would say.
Four's not good enough.
I know. I honestly,
Four could be there.
I would say finessing has been number 5. Because again, it's like, you know, I get sometimes thrown all these rocks, right?
Yeah.
All these, you know, like, and it's hard
I
rocks.
like
It's not
rocks.
just like we're not like just tossing them into the pond though.
Yeah.
Like it's the rocks come at me and it's like I gotta like dodge
You
them.
gotta make
almost,
something out of
you
it.
know, because otherwise if it hits me in the face, like I'm gone, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm gonna make a joke right now too. Like I'm a brand whore. I've been with a lot of different brands. I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a fitness ceremony and like there was like award for fitness 10 fitness model, you know.
What do they call it in sports? They call it, they make it sound pretty when you get traded a lot. They call you a journeyman.
Oh,
He is a journeyman.
Yeah.
He's been on a lot of teams.
Yeah.
But you're doing what's right for you. And it's
yes.
ultimately no one's going to look out for you more than yourself.
That's right.
So I mean, at the end of the day, like, whatever success you achieve, it's through your own means, and you have to do whatever you have to do. So everyone can hate all they want, but they're not paying their bills. You're paying their bills.
Yeah. No, and again, like, you know, celebrities change brands all the time. I mean, how many times do we see, you know, one day they're, you know, promoting Prada, and then the next day they're, you know, Louis Vuitton. It's like, they do this too. It's not out of, like, you know, the norm. But again, I'd say every single, brand partnership or, like, you know, opportunity that I've ever had, it was great for that phase of life for me until it wasn't.
Then you got finesse.
And then I have to finesse. I always have to have a plan B whenever there's not a plan B. There's always a way I'm trying to figure it out because I can't afford for this to fail. Yeah. I can't. You know why? Because people now rely on me financially. You know, and that's a whole nother pressure. And I'm sure you guys relate to this, is like, when you're a business owner, you got to figure it the fuck out because now someone else's family is now relying on your income. So you can't fail and you can't stop because you've now built this and you've gotten people to believe in you, you know, so you can't afford for the ship to sink because now not only are you going to fail and that's going to just ruin your self-esteem, but now you're going to ruin someone else's, like, living situation, and that's fucked up. Yeah. So it's like, again, like, you know, these concepts here, like, you know, many females don't even talk on this. Being a business owner is really fucking hard. And then also you gotta show up every day happy, you know, and you know, pretending like everything's okay all the time. And then, you know, hey, Miranda, you're really tired. You look really tired. No fucking shit, I'm tired. Yeah. Like, are you for real right now? Yeah, you would be tired if you're me too. I'm not out here, I'd say, doing the fastest way to make money. You know, if you can, you know, pick up what I'm, you know, putting down. I'm not I'm not doing that. And then it's a comment of, but do you know how much money you'd make if you did? No fucking shit. I've never thought about that in my life. I've never thought about that idea. Like, you're insane. Oh my God. You now actually should just take 50% of my income because, again, you just created this idea I've never thought about. Yeah. I'm not dumb. You know, so it's like, again, it's the sacrifice to have integrity. The sacrifice to have morals. Yeah. Life smacks you in the face when you do that. But then also, again, I would say doing the other option, it's more so like, there's consequences, you know, good or bad, for everything that we do in life. So if you're going to be willing to take that, you know, the negative consequence to, you know, someone else not seeing you as, like, respectful as they would if you didn't do that, understand the consequences for that decision. If you're fine with it, fuck it. But then don't complain about it when you're trying to be respected. Don't complain about it when life doesn't go your way. Don't complain about it when no one's buying your products. So it's like, again, the sacrifice, right? Yeah. I really appreciate how real everything was. That was fucking awesome. Yeah. See you guys in the next episode. That's dope. Really? Yeah.